Our next inductee is Jeff Braun, men's track. Unfortunately, Jeff passed away this past fall, but we were able to notify him of this wonderful honor. I'd like to congratulate the Braun family for this tremendous honor. Well deserved.
1979 All-American Jeff Braun won 8 Big Ten titles in the shot put and the discus at Wisconsin, and he enjoyed a long international career, becoming the U.S. national champion in the shot put in 1982. We were saddened to learn of Jeff's passing recently on October 18th, but his high school coach in Seymour, Wisconsin, Bill Collar, is kind enough to join us and share a few stories about Wisconsin Athletics Hall of Famer Jeff Braun. Bill, thank you for being here, and can you give us a little insight into what kind of an athlete Jeff was, maybe in high school when you first learned of him?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm honored to represent the Braun family and Jeff Braun at this induction and his siblings. Jeff, I came to Seymour. Jeff was a sophomore, and he was slow, awkward, and soft. But a big kid, about a 200-pounder. We got him out for football. He got beat up pretty bad. He got pinned just about every time in wrestling. And in track, he threw the shot put only 34 feet as a sophomore. Well, he got on a weight program. He never missed. He was there all the time. Very dedicated, showed great improvement as a junior, threw 50 feet in the shot. And as a senior, he came out, he was all conference in football, a great leader on the team. He won some wrestling matches, didn't make it to state, but he won most of his matches. And he threw the shot put an amazing 63 feet, 1 1/4 inches, with over a 30-foot almost a 30-foot improvement.
What did he share with you about his time at Wisconsin, winning all those championships and getting to compete on the big stage?
Well, my concern would be how would he make the transition from the 12-pound shot to the 16-pound shot? That extra 4 pounds, tremendous difference. And Jeff wasn't a huge muscular guy, but he was quick and he had a cannon for an arm. Well, his freshman year, he won the Big Ten indoor. And then he went on, of course, to be a great, great team member. My wife and I went down to numerous meets. And when he was done throwing the shot or the discus, he'd go over and cheer on the rest of the team, the sprinters, the distance runners, the jumpers. And I think that's the thing that Jeff liked most about it. And he loved the University of Wisconsin. In fact, we're the home of the hamburger here in Seymour. And one time, Bucky Badger showed up at our hamburger parade. And nobody could figure out who this Bucky Badger was. It was the biggest Bucky Badger I ever saw. And here was Jeff Braun promoting that Wisconsin spirit in the home of the hamburger, Seymour, Wisconsin.
That is a tremendous story. Thank you for sharing that. As I understand it, you were one of the first people that Jeff told when he found out he was going into the Hall of Fame. What was his reaction?
Well, it was a tough time for Jeff, and we had been communicating, and his brother John had been keeping me informed on how he was doing, and he was rather depressed. But then one night I got a phone call, and he said, "Coach, it happened." I said, what happened? He says, I'm in. He said, I just heard I'm going to be inducted into the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame. I said, Jeff, that's fantastic. I said, now you know what that means. That means you got to follow all the doctor's orders. You got to get yourself in good shape for that induction ceremony. I said, I want to see you at halftime of the game at Camp Randall being introduced. He said, Coach, you can count on it. I'll be there. He was excited. He was just thrilled. And I thought it would be a real turning point as far as his health was concerned. But unfortunately, of course, plans had to be postponed. But he did receive his ring and his plaque in the mail a couple days before he passed away, and his brother took it up to him in the hospital, and he had a chance to put the ring on and smile and see his plaque. And so it was a great departing gift, you might say.
So I'm so grateful to hear that he was able to receive that before passing. He certainly deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. It's a great honor for him and for his family. Do you know if there's anyone that his family would like to thank especially and recognize at this time?
Well, I talked to his brother, and I think in particular is the head high school track coach, Giz Herbst. He had things organized so I could work with Jeff and the other throwers and he was a great track coach. Certainly his college coaches that he worked with, Peter Teagan, Ed Nuttycombe, Dan Kleiman. And then he had a very special friend, Jerome Fishbone, who was in the football area down there at the university and helped out. Jeff did a lot of recruiting for the track team. And I'm sure most of all, he always saw himself as more than just a thrower and a coach. And he saw himself as a caring person, and he took an interest in every athlete he had the opportunity to work with. Just a great guy.
Bill, thank you for being here and representing Jeff and the Braun family. And congratulations again to that entire family on being inducted into the Wisconsin Athletics Hall of Fame, class of 2020.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks to Kohl's for helping us celebrate the entire class of 2020. You too can celebrate the Badgers and get your gear at your local Kohl's or Kohls.com.